Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we are giving you an unboxing of Lords of Hellas by Awaken Realms.
Plus expansions, in case you couldn't tell.
So these are really, I've played Lords of Hellas. I'm familiar with it. You and I have played it with Board Game Co.
Yes.
We sat down and gave it a swing. It's going to be a area control military game that has a mix of questing and large statues that you're building and upgrades and components and asymmetric player powers and... more specifically, the thing that I always do, giant monsters to fight and hunt throughout the course of the game. This quickly rose to one of Alex's top 10 games the very first time he played it. It is heavily on his radar. If you like area control and this nature of a game, this is one you're going to want to be paying attention to. But we're unboxing this, and we have this in hand specifically because Lords of Ragnarok is on the way, which is a steampunk Viking style version or standalone game in the Lords of Hellas universe. And so, I just thought it'd be fun to look at cool minis, open things up. That is not a very respectfully quiet unboxing, but okay.
Figured we'd start with the base box.
Lords of Hellas. So, what we're going to find in here is going to be a pile of minis, a lot of boards, a lot of tokens, and I'll talk you through, just like any of our unboxing videos here in Quackalope.
I just want the minis.
We know enough about this game to talk to you about how it plays as we pull things out. So, first off, we're going to have a series of reference cards here, which are going to give you information on all the different modules that you can upgrade as you play, specifically related to the statues that you're going to be building, because these statues come in 3-part segments, which you are probably going to start breaking and pulling apart as you pull them out.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so these statues will be constructible. We're also going to have the creatures that we can fight throughout the course of the game. Right here in the base game, we have a Sphinx, Medusa, Cerberus, Cyclops, and Chimera, and a Minotaur. So these are going to have locations where you're going to be tracking them down and hunting them across the board. And we should have minis for every one of them, like this mechanoid. Look at this.
No, but I'm focusing on this.
Mechanoid 3-headed dog. So one of the cool features of this game is not only going to be the breaking apart statues, but that you're going to be getting powers, abilities, and upgrades as all of these statues start being assembled across the board. So you have this sort of expanding area control that is not only focused on regions and outposts and shrines, but also focused on the statues that are being constructed around it. I love how you just toss the small minis over to the side.
Small minis aren't worth anything.
All of these are going to be bags and bags of small, tiny miniatures,
Where's
each
the
with their
statue?
each with their own faction style.
See him.
Each with their own faction style.
Look at this, Medusa.
Yeah, and that's not Medusa.
How do you know?
That's not.
So many heads.
That's not what a Medusa looks like.
Oh, who is it?
That snake beast creature is going to be a Hydra.
Oh.
Do you know what a Medusa looks like?
No.
Medusa looks like this. Her.
I hear. Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so we have piles and piles of little bits, pieces, tokens, area control, territory control elements. We also have a stack of cards. So throughout the course of the game, you're going to be getting new cards that you can utilize for battle systems, either taking down opponents, playing into bluffs, or fighting and using them to trigger attacks against different beasts, because every beast is going to have a hit location that directly relates to where they are and what different powers they have. You also have, some of these cards are going to also script what level the creatures you are fighting are, giving them special upgrades throughout the course of the game. Things like Medusa being able to freeze every unit in a region, or the Hydra. You're just going to hang out and build things, right?
Yeah, that's my role here. I really like the minis.
Okay, so setting this over and to the side.
You can continue.
Oh! Let's see what else we have. So, down here on the main board, you're going to have your main player characters. You have Perseus, which has a slot. You have Hercules, which is going to be one of my favorite characters to play because he's really good at fighting things. You're going to have Achilles, and you're going to have Helen. So the way that the player characters work is you're going to have a top board and a bottom board. The top board is going to relate to their own miniature, special abilities, personality traits, and then the bottom board is going to be their special actions. Every turn, you're going to be able to activate one of 6 special actions to move around the board. These are going to be pretty straightforward, But they're going to be things like move, recruit units, build a temple to gain priests and benefits that allow you to continue constructing your towers and your citadels. They're going to be things like usurp, which is to take over a region, march, which is to move into another region, and prepare, which is going to be sort of upkeep and cycling. Now, the core element of this system is going to be the fact that when people do a refresh or a rest phase, everyone's going to benefit from that at the same time. So everyone's going to like recall all of their pieces, and you sort of have to determine when you're going to be pushing that for everyone else.
Did you talk about how it's sequencing that the actions get covered?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So you're only going to be able to do one at a time until you've cycled. So there's all of our player boards. Set some of these tokens off to the side. We have the game mat here. Do we want to make space for the game mat, or are you just going to hog the whole...
But the minis are so important.
Here, so...
I can tactfully slide the
I'll just do one of these. So we have the game mat back here, which we don't have room for on the table because Shira insists that the minis must be built. This is going to be the locations that you are exploring and fighting. So as you move around the board here, you're going to see different regions with different area control. The object of the game is going to be either to control a certain number of shrines, a certain number of entire regions, defeat a certain number of beasts, or control a certain number of these statues by the time that they are fully constructed. So, we have the game manual. We have the campaign book. I have not played through any of the campaign elements. I've always done one-off situations. I don't know if this is just sort of a walkthrough of how to play, or if there's actually more of a narrative arc to it. Let's see here. With the fall of the Mycenaean Empire, the age-old might and culture of ancient Greece collapsed, and Hellas was mired in chaos and ruin. The period became a time that no chronicle would document. Amid disarray and death, a handful of chosen ones sought to restore law and order by assuming control over the fallen land. History would remember them as heroes, but the lure of power soon stoked their ambitions. Between the chosen ones, a great war began, and its victor would become the sole ruler.
Drawn to war, mysterious and technologically advanced beings arrived in this world. They offered their support to the heroes, arming them with advanced weaponry of terrible power, and the Greeks soon came to worship them as gods. Can you survive in this hostile land ravaged by monsters and unending strife? Are you ready to fight and become Lord of Hellas? You don't like when I open stuff and you're talking or reading. Very silently opening things. Are you ready to fight and become a Lord of Hellas? In Lord of Hellas, you lead a hero to battle with armies at their command. They must fight rival heroes and slay fearsome monsters as they try to appease the new gods.
But what I'm opening is the Warlord box, and you're going to want to see what's inside of it.
Is it more minis by any chance?
Would venture to guess, this being an Awakened Realms game, that a Warlord box would in fact contain
minis.
More minis. So, popping it open. Open only if you've won 3 games. So we'll set that off to the side. I have not won 3 games. We have the Chronos expansion, the Dark Ages expansion.
You can set all those to the side. Here, you like this stuff.
Sure. More and more module player boards, and more creatures which we're going to be able to fight. We have the Typhion, the Python, or the Python. We have the Cetus, the Chiron, Talos, and the Siren. Very nice. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Look at these things.
Look at them. The wash on them is so cool.
Oh, they're so good. These aren't statues either, right?
Some of these are. Look, that gets built. That gets builded. Let me find the builds.
Oh, wait, these are statues.
All of them are?
The ones with bases like this are statues.
Yeah, because remember you put tokens in there?
This dude is not a statue.
He's very impressive.
He's so bulky.
He's so impressive.
I could throw him at an enemy.
Where's the holes?
So, we also have Odysseus and Leonidas that we can play. We have Cassandra. Awesome. I have no idea what's going on with some of these, though. I have never played with this module before.
Yeah, because you haven't won.
Excuse you. We have
said not to play.
Ooh, oh, it's going to introduce Atlantis.
There we go.
Look.
Atlantis expansion.
We're introducing Atlantis into this game. I am so excited about this. Are there any more things in there, or is that like...
Yeah, but they're small. They don't mean anything. Here you go.
They're small. What do you mean they don't mean anything?
They're small minis. The big ones are the most impressive.
I mean, but look at the amount of detail in this mechanoid robot lizard.
Let's see what's in here.
Atlantis expansion.
Yeah, you talked about Atlantis, and the box takes forever to come up. All right. Ooh, big mini! Haha. Here, take.
Is this the Atlantean statue? Atlantis expansion module.
The mini takes up the entire box, and
Another little side player board. What in the world?
ha!
Do you put people up here?
He also comes with a very tiny, tiny thing.
That's so cool.
It's amazing.
That's so cool. Although we're gonna have to wash ours. This one is not a washed one.
No.
So we're gonna have to go through and paint and put like a grayscale wash over it.
Do you have
Cool.
that?
We can figure it out. This one could do with an upkeep as well.
Oh my gosh.
These I like the most.
I
These
wish
are a little bit
every
more.
game had minis this size. They're so awesome.
Ooh.
I'm digging out people's arms.
I was looking at it. It's so cool how they've like created them as sockets to connect. What are you unboxing now?
The Lord of the Sun.
I assume this is gonna be another massive mini.
I hope so. That's my hope right now. So. No. This is disappointing.
Let's see.
He's small.
Let's
oh no,
see.
not too small. Okay.
So we have a few sirens and worshippers.
I just like the big guys.
Okay, that's him. Nice. Very nice. I'm always curious if they break apart or not. He breaks apart. Oh, his sternum came off.
If they're standing,
His arm.
if they're standing on a base, I'm pretty sure they break apart.
I know, but I'm always scared to start twisting and pulling.
So some of them don't go back in as nicely as others, so you gotta be careful not
Yeah.
to break. It would be sad to break. And this is the City of Steel.
City of Steel.
Do you think it has a big guy in it?
Ooh.
Do you think it has
know,
this big guy?
I'd venture to guess it probably has that big guy in it.
Cute.
Okay, City of Steel. Ooh, we have Arachne, which is going to be another villain for us to fight. We have a satyr. Very nice. Army upgrade tiles. More hunt track. Oh, Hector. Hector's a playable character.
Oh.
So who do we have? We have more villains.
We've got a wall.
Ooh.
Wall.
That's cool.
We've got these guys.
These are going to be monsters that we're fighting. And Hector should be in there somewhere as well. Yep.
There
This
he
one
is.
right here. So not quite the big mini that you were thinking.
No.
Tiny little gentle mini. But you could play as him.
Hmm.
Which is the exciting part.
No, I'd rather play as a big mini.
So,
Think I could be the gods and you'd all fight against me?
that's going to be an unboxing of Lords of Hellas. Like I said, this is going to be a area control skirmish game with monster hunting, variable quests, and a lot of head-to-head
Powers and
combat.
abilities.
Now, your first game was subpar because you messed up the strategy immediately.
Yes.
So I'm excited to get this back to the table with you.
Only if there's big minis involved.
There are a lot of big minis involved, and I'm really intrigued by the expansions we have. I want to play with that Atlantean board. So, either way, thank you for watching. Let us know, have you already played this game? Are you excited as I'll get out for Lords of Ragnarok? Or is this the first time you're hearing about it? Because it is on the way, and guess what? It's going to be full of minis like this.
What's the first expansion we should try after we play the base game? City of Steel, Lord of the Sun, or Atlas?
I've already played the base game a few times, but after you've played the base game.
Asking after I've played the base game, which one I should...
So, thank you for watching. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing,
Build big minis.
and we'll see you next time.